Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, January 20th. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, Maryland's next governor and lieutenant governor will take the oath of office in Annapolis tomorrow. Inaugural preps are underway, and today the media were given a behind-the-scenes look. Rochelle Metzger is outside the State House of what you can expect if you attend tomorrow's festivities.
Here in Annapolis, crews are working around the clock setting up for tomorrow's swearing in of Republican Governor-elect Larry Hogan. They just finished doing an audio check. They've been testing out the music and the sound system. They've already laid out 1,600 chairs, and they'll continue working this afternoon. There's a dress rehearsal as they prepare for tomorrow's festivities, which kick off around 11 a.m.
1, 2.
Those who plan to attend will want to arrive early.
The senators and the delegates have seating out here as well, but there will be plenty of seats that will be available for the general public as well.
That'll be first come, first serve. And parking?
The roads will be closed right around the State House around 10 o'clock.
They need to park at the Navy Stadium. There will be shuttles that will take them here.
Also, when they're coming into the building, they need to make sure that you're not carrying any type of package or anything like that. It's going to slow the process down. The other thing is make sure they've got some sort of photo ID.
And expect stepped up security.
There are going to be, law enforcement officers all around the complex in various areas doing checks.
Larry Hogan and Boyd Rutherford will officially be sworn in as Maryland's 62nd governor and lieutenant governor inside the Senate chamber. The proceedings will be shown on TV screens outside. Officials will then recite the oath in a public ceremony on the steps of the State House around noon.
Members of the Maryland National Guard that will be escorting the governor and their family and some of the dignitaries through the State House, through the different parts of the inauguration and into their seats.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, head of the Republican Governors Association, who campaigned heavily for Hogan, will introduce the new governor, who will then deliver his inaugural address. No flyover this year due to federal budget constraints, but there will still be plenty of pomp and circumstance.
There'll be a 19-gun salute for the governor. There's going to be music that'll be played. We'll have several bands that are going to be playing.
Following the ceremony, a public receiving line inside.
The governor has said that he will stay here until he shakes everyone's hands.
Now, there is rain and the possibility of snow in the forecast for tomorrow, but we're told the governor will hold the outdoor public ceremony, rain or shine. So that means plan accordingly and dress appropriately. We are told umbrellas are allowed, and you'll want to get here, as we said, extra early. We'll see you here as we have full coverage of tomorrow's inaugural ceremony. For now, I'm Rochelle Metzger in Annapolis. Back to you all in the studio.
And the celebration continues in the evening with a gala at the Baltimore Convention Center. For a full list of events and details at mdinaugural.com.
And tomorrow marks the first time in 8 years that a Republican governor will lead the state. That's left some wondering how both parties will negotiate when it comes to legislative and executive decisions. Jay Walker, chair of the Prince George's delegation, says it's a non-issue.
Everybody's elected to lead the state of Maryland, so it doesn't matter if you're on the Eastern Shore or Western Maryland or urban Prince George's County. I mean, we're all here to lead. So I think you put behind you any party lines. I don't necessarily play that, so I think we'll be fine.
And Democrats still outnumber Republicans in the General Assembly by nearly a 3-to-1 margin. Well, increases in sales, gas, and income taxes may have left a mark on outgoing Governor Martin O'Malley's tenure, in part because of the successful campaign of his soon-to-be replacement. The so-called rain tax was a very effective campaign tool used by Governor-elect Larry Hogan. He accused O'Malley of 40 tax increases, saying it was time for a change. But House Speaker Michael Bush says the ads were misleading.
The issues the governor wants to bring forward, we'll have legislative committees deal with those initiatives, why they passed, what corrections, if any, can be made to them, or which ones that the legislature feels strongly enough to roll back. But I think the rain tax does not affect the budget, but the vast majority of us believe it's a stormwater management bill that's directed by the federal government, and it's not something that was imposed by the state without direction from the federal government. Said you had to have it implemented by 2017. So whether you adjust it or not, you still have to have some kind of stormwater management plan that's paid for by 2017 in all the counties.
And Hogan still pledges to repeal the tax when he takes office.
And in a matter of days, Governor Larry Hogan will release his first budget. So what does that mean for Prince George's? Earlier today, Council Chairman Mel Franklin talked about the county's key priorities in Annapolis. This includes a focus on job creation and business investments.
The county's 2015 legislative agenda focuses on job creation and economic development through advancing key investment priorities, such as holding the state to its commitments on sharing the cost of the new state-of-the-art regional medical center in Largo, protecting critical K-12 funding, including the Thornton Geographic Cost of Education Index and school construction dollars, and advancing key transportation projects like the Purple Line and infrastructure supporting our bid for the FBI headquarters.
Franklin also talked about the goals in preventing further cuts in essential programs like the Disparity Grant and Public Safety Grant.
President Barack Obama will speak to the nation tonight in his sixth State of the Union address, and this time in front of a Republican-controlled Congress. The president is expected to talk about a host of issues, including proposing a tax hike on the wealthy, dismantling ISIS, and addressing Iran's nuclear ambitions. We've already gotten a preview of the free community college initiative. Obama's overall job approval number is at 46%, which is the highest rating since October 2013.
This State of the Union gives me an opportunity to present to the American people, now that we have fought our way through the crisis, how do we make sure that everybody in this country, how do we make sure that they're sharing in this growing economy? How do we make sure that they have...
And the speech will air tonight on major networks at 9 p.m. And will you be watching tonight? If so, do you favor the president's proposal to hike taxes on the wealthiest Americans? Let us know, yes or no, by logging on to PGCTV.org. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Byron Scott.